Hey guys, what is going on? It is me, BakuriBox12 here, and welcome back to another Realm of the Mad God character guide video. I haven't done one of these in a long time, and I felt like it was time. It's been long enough. Time for another character guide video, and we're doing a character that a lot of people have actually wanted me to do. No, not the rogue. That will come later. Today we're looking at the Priest, a class that has been around for so long and has had quite a bumpy career. For the longest time, the Priest was the friendly class. Anytime you were about to die and you needed life, you went to the Priest and asked for a heal. Then, once pets were released, his ability wasn't exactly that sought after anymore because you could get a heal just by waiting a few seconds. But with the fairly recent update, the Priest as well as the Paladin and Mystic all received a buff that made them much more important than previously. And that's what we're here to talk about. I'm going to tell you everything that there is to know about the Priest, what he's good at, what he's bad at, and my overall opinion on the class as a whole. Let's begin. The Priest maxes at 50 attack, 25 def, 55 speed, 55 dexterity, 40 vitality, and 75 wisdom. From those stats alone, we can already tell that he's not really a damage dealer, but he's very dependent on his ability, and it's very important. Everything else is pretty average, 25 def and 40 vit. That's to be expected. There's not really much else we can infer about the stats, so let's move on to his items. What's his weapon like? It's a wand. What do wands do? Well, wands are the longest weapons in the entire game, having a range of 9. That's a lot. You can hit things that aren't even on screen. That's awesome. However, there's only one shot, so that makes hitting targets a little bit more difficult. Once you get further down the tiered wands, you'll notice that they begin to hit multiple targets, meaning that they pierce through enemies. Very similar to the bows. In fact, it's exactly the same, except here you only have one shot, but it goes much further. So it kind of compensates. You can hit a whole bunch of targets if you know where to aim. Couple this with the 50 attack and 55 dex, you have a reasonable damage dealer. It's not anything great, definitely not anything admirable, but it doesn't suck either. So that's good. Let's move on to the trademark of the Priest, the Tome. What is the Tome, you say? The Tome is Lifesaver Incarnate. Want to know why? Say you're about to die, blinking red. If you take one more hit, you're gonna die. So you know what you do? Hit spacebar, and boom. You're back up to nearly full health. That is the Tome, instant healing. But you're not the only one that gets healed. Everyone within a certain range gets healed as well. This is the definition of a support class. If we're talking about Realm of the Mad God, this guy is here to help everyone. You can't be selfish with the Priest unless you hog heals for yourself. In that case, you're just a bad person, I'm sorry. But how do tomes work? Now, before the most recent update, tomes used to have a set amount of HP that they would heal for. The tier 6 used to heal for 300 HP at a certain cost of mana, instantly. Now there's been a little bit of a change. The HP that you heal for has been changed and increased based on however much wisdom you have. Let's take a look at my Priest over here. It says that my Tome of Holy Guidance heals for 316 within 7.9 squares. However, we also have a party effect of 9.4 healing, just like the Paladin, as well as a self buff of Speedy for 2.3 seconds, all for the cost of 85 mana. That is a whole lot. In fact, this is on par with the Paladin. This is really good. However, right now, I'm wearing the Ring of the Nile. That doesn't give me any wisdom buff. So let's put on a ring that does give me wisdom, like the Ring of the Sphinx. Now let's take a look at those stats on Holy Guidance again. The party heal is now 326 within 8 squares, and the party healing effect is 9.8, as well as going speedy for 2.4 seconds. Everything went up a slight bit from just 4 wisdom. This makes putting on a wisdom ring all the more valuable. So next time you see all these unbound HP rings and unbound def rings being sold, you say, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna go get my unbound wisdom ring. Yeah, that's right, wisdom rings are actually good. But it doesn't end there. There's a tome out there known as the Tome of Holy Protection, otherwise known as Prot, which is arguably the best tome in the game, because of one simple thing. Instead of giving you that party effect in which everybody gets healed, or getting speedy, you have a self-effect of being armored for a certain duration. Remember armoring? Like from the warrior? Jug? Doubling your def for 4 seconds? You're telling me a priest can do that? Oh yeah. And guess what? The duration in which you get armored for also increases based on your wisdom. So if you want to put on like an unbound wisdom ring, you could be armored for almost 7 seconds. That's almost double the duration of the warrior. That is incredible. Can you even believe that? You can become as tanky as a knight longer than a warrior on a priest class. On a class that heals, you can't die. If you max out your HP and mana, and oh my god, Dude, I want to do that. I'm not kidding whenever I say throughout the course of me recording this video, I've gotten more excited to play the Priest class. I'm not even kidding. This is great. This really was an awesome update. Thank you, Kabam, for doing this. They made the right call whenever they did this. They saw that these classes were undermined, and they decided, you know what, we gotta do something that makes them non-obsolete anymore. We need them to become important. All they have to do is maybe patch up the Necro class, and I think all 14 classes are great. But anyway, that's the tome. We still got to talk about armor. So as far as armors go, well, it's a robe. And which robe should you pick? Well, there's a little bit of a variety here. It really comes down to preference. Now that we know that wisdom is very important, you might want to pick one that gives you more wisdom rather than just MP. But that's entirely up to you. Maybe you want to balance it out with some def, maybe some attack, I don't know. Tier 13 Grand Sorcerer robe is always a great option, but Mad Lab is good too, and even give the Water Dragon robe a try. That thing looks awesome. But of course, if you're not a very fortunate player or you're just starting out, then obviously you won't have any of these. Just stick with the tiered robes. It'll be perfectly fine. As for the rings, well, again, it really just varies on what you want. The more wisdom, the better. If you want to put on a Nile ring that gives you the balanced 60 HP and MP, that's good. 4 speed and 4 dex, now you're actually pretty quick. If you want to go for the DPS build, then you might want to put on a Pyrrha, although I don't exactly recommend that, because it gives you 100 HP, 4 attack, and 4 def, and with the armoring of Prot, you don't really need any more def than you already have. I'd say if you have the chance to take advantage of your healing and armoring wisdom points, go for it. Put on a ring that gives you a whole bunch of wisdom. Heck, if you want to just put on a pure wisdom ring, that's good too. Nile is good, and whatever you can get your hands on. Rings are they are entirely preference, and they really reflect your play style and just what you want. Nile, it's a very fast-paced one. It's balanced, it gives you speed. Pyrrha, it's more for the tanky damage-dealing build. Sphinx is definitely more of a supporting ring. It shows that you're not going to be in the battle too much. You're just going to stay back and do what you do best. Support your team. But since this isn't Dota or LoL, that doesn't entirely matter. Overall, though, the Priest class is much better than he was just months ago. I'm so happy that this update came to fruition, and it really is a beginner-friendly class. If you just want to start out and have some fun, pick the Priest. You're going to have a blast. If you're about to die, hit that spacebar, and you're safe now. It's as easy as that. I definitely recommend everybody give this class a try. It's a lot of fun. He's not really great for DPS, though, so if you don't get drops, don't be surprised, but if you're just here to have some fun and get used to the controls or just have a good time, maybe try and solo a dungeon for the first time, pick the Priest. Give it a shot. That's all I gotta say. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and as always, don't forget to check out the next episode whenever I post it, which will probably be soon. I hope you guys enjoyed. Alright, see ya.